So I wanted to make a little informal confession video that doesn't have a lot of flair to it or anything. This is just me talking. I really wanted to put it out there and just get this out there mainly for myself and just to think about it further. So I wanted to talk about video making, photography, myself, etc. And I just kind of want to free range talk, like let just the words flow. So a lot of things may not make sense, sound broken up, etc. I'm sorry. None of this is like scripted. This is just off the top of my head. So for those of you that know me, I love photography, I love filmmaking. I've brought it up in other videos before and etc. But I never really mentioned how much anxiety or just discomfort I can get in public from having a camera on me. Whether I'm actually recording like this or if I'm just walking around with a camera. This is actually something I recently picked up. I will be talking about it more in another video, but I just started to wear it on me today just to get comfortable with it. By getting comfortable with it, I mean being comfortable with others looking at me while I'm taking pictures or me trying to take pictures of them. Because when I think about street photographers, I think they're probably one of the gutsiest people I know besides those guys that climb to the top of high skyscrapers and decide to take a selfie with a GoPro at the top of an antenna. Street photographers amaze me because they don't care about them being seen out there, and what they can do is they're almost like a stealth. They're unseen. Now cameras are on everything today. Cameras are on your cell phone. Cameras are compact or as big as what I have here. I started to carry a camera around me last summer specifically, and that's when I started to record a lot of videos. I would just carry a camera on me and have it at me all the time and just say, it's here, it's on me. It's kind of just like having a tool on you at all the time. Think about your phone. It has lots of different apps on it. Therefore, the thing with the camera is my main focus was, this is my creative output of taking photography or doing video and doing something later with it. But I always felt deeply uncomfortable with other people acknowledging what I'm doing. If I'm ever talking to the camera in public, it takes a while for me to get over the barrier that other people might be watching me, because there's something weird about it. And at the same time, I'll say it's really self-centered. It's kind of part of that junk 2016 generation that we kind of form this picture of, that I understand. And I want to get over that. And I want to just be like, I'm taking video. I'm making something. I don't know how to explain this to you. I get asked several times when I walk around with this camera, well, what are you doing with that? What are you shooting with that? Well, I'd like to take little bits of video from time to time. What do you mean? Well, it's a weird little thing to explain it to you, but I like filmmaking and whatnot, so it's really contradictory to a larger belief that I like to hold in life, and I tell my friends and etc. And that is just kind of like, don't care what other people think. And I notice that when I'm with friends and when I'm with loved ones, that I feel strong and capable of myself, that I'm more able to freely speak of my own beliefs and who I am. And when I'm in environments of people that I don't really know or I may not be comfortable in, that I'm not able to freely speak and just say like, this is me, this is Rashid Klosterman, I can do what I want. You don't have to tell me that I have to do it a certain way, etc. So it kind of takes a while for me to like get trust and adjusted to certain situations. And I'll give you another comparison. So when it comes to my classes, I always want to go up to people and talk to them. Just say, hey, what's up? And start some small talk conversation. I had a speech class last spring, and this professor was phenomenal. Teresa McGinnis. That's a shout out to you. I thank you so much for that class and etc. But she focused on small talk at the beginning of a class, of every class. You had to go up to someone that you didn't know, introduce yourself, and just start talking. And I started to see how much better I used to feel in classes. I felt more connected. I felt good, positive. It was great to meet people, and we would be surprised at where our conversations would go. Now it's really easy to get stuck in the rut of just like saying, I'm always going to go back to the same person for comfort to go to talk to. And in life, I have the tendency to do those things, whether it be to resort to my apartment for comfort or get into a comfortable zone of kind of a routine that I don't really want to be part of. When I get into this apartment, you would think this is my creative space. I have all my gear here, and I've done a lot to this room to make it home. But there's a lot of times that it just doesn't feel like home. And I wish that I could be traveling outward and etc. And I really want to travel and do filmmaking and photography and all that jazz. And I just don't know how to explain it to you. But the core that I want to get to is that if you ever see me carrying around my camera, if you are encouraging me to do what I love, I want to thank you so much. It means the world to me. It's just a lot, and it's important to me, and that's what I want you to understand. And that's where the communication part becomes difficult, because to understand another person and exactly how they feel is near impossible. You can empathize, but how can you truly understand? For me, this is really weird to say, but one of the biggest people that I know that positively influences me in their own life philosophy and stuff is someone that I don't even know. And I've mentioned him several other times in other videos. That's Casey Neistat. There's just so much positivity that I see coming off of him. And I've just watched about every single piece of material about him and etc. And I dig the guy. I think he's a great human being. And I have a couple of very close friends that I also subscribe to their life philosophies and their thoughts and etc. And I love hanging out with these people because they like to go above and beyond, and they don't like to get stuck in ruts and etc. Quick shout out to my friend Colton. But I know you're all the way in Eastern Illinois, and I miss you here, but I just when you left, it was just what do I do now? Who do I go to? And I realized that, I don't mean to say this in a negative way, but he was a comfort zone, someone to go to that I knew what I could get, and we had several conversations about friendships and etc. And it kind of made me think more about it this summer. So it's all about getting out of that shell that I like to get stuck in. So to wrap up, making stuff, making things, being out in public and just being comfortable with doing it, that is something that I'm going to be trying to work on towards. But currently, I don't like to set limitations and say that because of this, I can't do this. So because I'm taking 4 classes and possibly going to be taking 5, I won't be able to creatively do videos. But I don't think that's true. Quick little story, if you didn't know, my laptop actually broke yesterday. I had to take the thing apart. Thank you, YouTube videos of self-help, blah 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 for tech. I was just this is stopping me from doing this, but it's really tiny and I know I can fix it, so therefore I should just do it. But to wrap up, I just want to thank each and every single one of you that does watch my videos, that does give me positive feedback towards my stuff. If you don't like what I do, whatever it may be, I really appreciate criticism. Things that you think I can improve on, or you don't like, or just whatever it may be, because I think I'd rather hear it out loud than just be making it up myself. To all my close friends, thank you for your encouragement. It means the world to me, because I had recently just asked about taking this extra class. The response I got was overwhelming. And thank you for those that say that what I do I'm good at, but I hope to keep getting better with this, with taking pictures. And I sit so badly on my pictures, this is the problem, that I'll get into in another video. But what I want to say is that when it comes to my film stuff, there's a lot that I actually take and I develop it and I print it and etc. And you would think, well, you want to do something that you love, right? You're going to dedicate time and effort to do those things that you love. But I will let myself get caught in such a rut that I will not do these things that I love. So I'm going to start working on that more. That's part of this whole, this is me being outward on the internet and just saying hey, stop being so fucking stupid, Rashid. And I always tell people to live life how you want, and who cares what others think and all this other stuff. So I should be following suit and leading by example. So on that note, I'll have something coming out soon. This stuff is just kind of random material, but thank you for watching.